I'm sorry. Two little words that become a powerful tool when used in the right situations, but can also have negative, unforeseen consequences when used too often. Many of us are guilty of over-apologizing, but by doing so, we weaken our position, lower our self-esteem, and it devalues genuine and important apologies that are really meant and felt. Apologies are often flung around with abandon, usually in order to accommodate social situations and keep the peace. While the Sigma isn't afraid to apologize and admit to being wrong for honest mistakes, he uses apologies sparingly and with great care. In this video, we're going to take a look at 10 things that the Sigma male won't ever ask forgiveness for. Number 10. Not being expressive enough or being too expressive. When it comes to expressing their feelings, men have had it pretty tough thanks to the conditioning that society has put them through over hundreds of years. As a consequence, they may suffer with limited emotional capacity and find it challenging to be expressive. On the other hand, there are men who don't like to refrain from expressing how they feel. And then you have the Sigma who isn't emotionally limited, but equally he isn't the kind of guy to wear his heart on his sleeve, and he doesn't let emotions get the best of him. But at the same time, he isn't afraid to empathetically voice his opinion and make his feelings known if the situation calls for it. However he decides to convey his feelings and opinions is something the Sigma will never express regret for. Number 9. His life philosophy. A Sigma has a code of ethics and his own philosophy on life that he lives by. He may have a set of core values and beliefs that are different to those of others, whether conscious or subconscious, but feels under no obligation to compromise on those no matter how much people try to guilt or pressure him. The Sigma's refusal to fit into the socio-sexual hierarchy means he is an impenetrable fortress when it comes to protecting his life philosophy, rendering it pretty much impossible for anyone to successfully manipulate him and what he believes in. The Sigma doesn't care if he ruffles any feathers with his values and belief system. Those are the kinds of people he doesn't want around him anyway, so he doesn't see any reason to apologize. Number 8. Ending a relationship. Nobody has a birthright to be in your life. The Sigma male makes for a loyal friend, acquaintance, and partner, whether professionally or in a personal setting. But when that relationship is no longer serving him or is negatively affecting him, then he won't hesitate to cut ties. The Sigma realizes that time is our most precious resource and life is too short to waste it on people who don't enrich his existence. Once he has ended whatever relationship that has become toxic or harmful for him, he won't then apologize for doing so. The only time one should apologize is if they have messed up, and although it may be rare, if the Sigma thinks he's made a mistake, then he will own up to it and say he's sorry. But ultimately, he's ended a relationship to avoid being held back from reaching his full potential, and that's not something worthy of an apology. Number 7. Saying no. Believe it or not, saying no is a complete sentence and a valid answer. Refusing someone something can be a tricky thing to do and stems from the urge to avoid conflict or confrontation. Consequently, to soften the blow of rejection, many people tend to say sorry for saying no, but this is more likely to work against them than in their favor. For the Sigma, saying no isn't usually a big deal, and even though occasionally he too may feel uncomfortable doing so, he allows himself to feel the discomfort. He's under no obligation and isn't willing to spend his life adjusting to other people. If he finds himself feeling too pressured to do something he doesn't want to do, he will express himself and find a workaround if necessary. But he won't apologize. He's done nothing wrong, so it's not warranted. Number 6. His quirks and imperfections. Our quirks, faults, and imperfections are what make us unique and human. Part of our self-identity, the Sigma fully embraces the things that make him who he is and won't apologize for being genuine. So what if he's into weird music, has a hobby one could call extremely alternative, or doesn't fit the conventional standard of attractiveness? He's not afraid of people not liking, respecting, or valuing him if he doesn't fit in. If he's not living life on his own terms, then he sees it as a waste. He refuses to shut down his true personality and allow himself to be programmed by society and other people. And of course, he won't ever apologize for that. Number 5. Putting himself first. We're all busy. Life is busy. The Sigma is busy. Perhaps the busiest of them all. He's always got something going on, whether that's the steps he's taking to advance his career, improving himself, or leaving his mark on the world. He has priorities, and they don't involve the needs and desires of others. If he can't go somewhere, do something, or help out because he's got stuff to do or just needs time to himself, then that's just the way it is. Taking care of his own needs is more important than anything else, even if that means taking a day off and ignoring the rest of the world. And he won't apologize to people who don't want him to have that. He lets them figure out for themselves that he can't be in 2 places at once, and that he's going to do things on his own terms regardless. Number 4. Being direct. The Sigma is known for his frank honesty and directness, preferring not to beat around the bush and calling things out for what they are. Often being mistakenly accused of being blunt, the Sigma remains respectful and diplomatic while being genuine and honest. So he's just direct, and this is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean he's being impolite, harsh, or rude, but if the Sigma needs to stick up for himself, someone else, or needs to set the record straight, being direct to the point that it verges on verbal bluntness may be called for. And will he apologize for being so direct? Of course not. That wouldn't count as being direct. Number 3. Telling the truth. Linking in with his trait of being direct, the Sigma will never be caught saying sorry for being truthful. This doesn't mean he will be brutally honest about small things that are unimportant and could hurt someone's feelings that he cares about. A white lie here and there to protect somebody's feelings is fine. But when it comes to the bigger truths, the Sigma will never apologize for speaking his mind and being honest. We are all entitled to speak the truth. It's never wrong to be honest, even if it can be a hard thing to do. So the Sigma will never follow telling the truth with an apology. Number 2. Failure. Everyone makes mistakes, and although the Sigma is often very successful in whatever he puts his mind to, that doesn't mean he doesn't experience his fair share of failure. In fact, one of the reasons he is so successful is because he's failed many times, but he doesn't see the failure as a bad thing. He sees it as a calculated risk that didn't work out that time, but crucially that gave him something to learn from and try again, eventually leading him to success. And why should he apologize for that? He's brave enough to take risks and never give up, no matter the struggle. And if other people are somehow offended or jealous by their inability to do the same, then that's on them. Now, before we take a look at the last point on our list, if you're enjoying the video, then please help us to grow our community by liking the video, hitting the notification bell, and sharing it with your friends. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate every single one of you. Now, finally, on to number 1. A Sigma male will never apologize for his opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but we can be made to feel guilty for having a different perspective to those around us. The Sigma won't go out of his way to get into an argument or be confrontational with people who don't share the same opinion, but he also won't ever change his opinion just to please others. And he won't apologize for exercising his right to expressing his own point of view. However, while the self-aware Sigma will nearly always be prepared to make his thoughts and feelings known, he is well aware of the moments where it's best to keep it to himself. Check out our video on things that Sigmas keep to themselves to find out about things that the Sigma male will rarely share. What are some of the things that you won't ever apologize for? Let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.